Are you tired of the regular mods in Garry's mod? Do you wish that there were things that really piqued your creativity? Well, that's cool, but first we're going to take a look at this awesome map, and on this map, it does come with these buildings all over the place. This is one of my favorite ones. I think it's pretty cool. You can go inside, there's a few rooms, and the reason why I like this building so much is because I built it. That's right, these two buildings I made, although this one is kind of however, this one I'm very proud of, and I made it within like less than 2 minutes, utilizing the tool that we'll be taking a look at in today's video, the simple build system. And it is a very easy to use, very intuitive SWEP located within the other tab of weapons. Go ahead and select it, and you're going to see there are all of our controls conveniently pushed more towards the center so that it's not cut off in the recording. And I made this all from scratch. It is super easy. I'll tell you how to use it. So first things first, hold down the R key and you can change your mode with this really cool radio menu. Now you do want to start out with a foundation typically. Once you do click on the foundation, you have a bunch of awesome options here. When you do select whatever option you want, it'll give you kind of like a hollow ghost version of what you'll spawn to give you a good idea of where you'll be placing it. Now when you do place it, you can see with left click, you just put it down, and it is a full interactive prop. You can step on it, you can hit it, you can make it make crunchy noises. However, we want to build something that's real. Let's go ahead and go even deeper. We're going to go with something like this. Put it down. Now here's the cool thing. A lot of these different types of materials do have snap built in, so you don't got to worry about being very precise. Simply aim on it and you'll get the snap, and that makes this incredibly easy for people like me who don't have the patience to sit there and meticulously put things together. This makes it so dang easy for me, and it is perfect. You cannot even see the seams. Alright, once you have the foundation laid out, we're going to go on over to walls. Now walls do have a ton of great options. We have doorways, we have windows, and then we have your typical metal walls or even wooden. Now with the foundation, the thing I think is really cool is the walls do automatically snap to the foundation, again making your life incredibly easy. So this will take me like less than just a couple of seconds. Now it can be a little finicky, but I've played with a lot of snapping. Oh, well, that's a problem. Now I was wondering, how do you get rid of things you put down? But then it kind of dawned on me, just use the Z key, the undo button, the one thing we're all very familiar with. But once you do put down all the things you want, we're actually going to put down some windows to put some life into this place. And once we're done with that, we want a doorway. Now, there are a few different doorways you can pick. You have like this one, you have this one, which I should probably show you what it actually looks like. And then we also have stuff like this, you know, pick whatever one you want. I'm gonna match the metal theme. Once you put the doorway down, you can now go into doors. And yes, this is going to be a real working door. You might have to mess with it a bit to get it right, but it's a real door. It actually works like an actual door, which is really cool because in a lot of mods, you have to download a mod specifically for that. But this is all built in. Now we have a bit of a dilemma. We can't even get up there anymore. Well, that's where the other option really comes in handy. By going into here, you can see we have stairs. Now there are quite a few different styles of stairs you can see. I don't know why that's sitting there, but I do want to go over some of the other things. You have some miscellaneous style objects like this pillar or whatever this is. There really is a lot of cool stuff and tons of customization and options to pick. But again, we want a good stairway. Now, let's talk about some of those keys real quick, because you can hold down right mouse button to rotate, and you can also move your mouse. So if you move your mouse without holding right mouse button, you do this. Holding down right mouse button, now it does that, but this can be a little weird because of the way the axis is kind of adjusted. However, you can use the mouse wheel for more fine tuning, and I really do like that. But in this case, we can of course just use the snap feature. Or can we? Because, well, you can't always rely on the snap feature, so we're gonna have to really make sure this is right, and, yeah, I don't know, I think I got it messed up. In fact, my whole orientation's off, so now I'm pretty much screwed. Just kidding, because if you hold down the Alt and R key, you will reset back to the default setting. And if you want to rotate it in certain degrees, we also have that too. By holding right mouse button and E, and then moving your mouse wheel, you can move it within 90 degrees, which is super nice. Like, oh my god, this is probably my favorite feature of all. Line it up, and once you think you got it perfectly, put it down, and voila. That looks amazing. Now we're going to go ahead and put our door back, because for some reason I got rid of it. Alright, our house is looking actually pretty good. Now, of course, we do need to put a roof on this, and I'm still kind of configuring this. I assume plates is the go-to. Now, plates, for some reason, at least as far as I know, do not automatically snap to the walls. You have to place the first one yourself, but I find that that's not really a big problem because with how this system is, it is incredibly intuitive to just put it down where you want. Now, that's a little off, so we can, of course, just undo. But once you think you got it down perfectly, like right there, alright, I'm happy with that. Now they will snap, and they'll snap to the other roof tiles, which again is so damn nice. I absolutely love this, and because of the dimensions of the walls, they seem to be in tune with the dimensions of the plates. Pretty much what I'm saying is when you put it down and you adjust the first plate, it should align with the walls that you've put down. And there you have it, an expertly made house if I do say so myself. But as I've shown, you can go even further beyond. So we're going to go into the fence section here, and there are a lot of different options. Now, this is more of like a fortress-style fence. I don't know what that was all about. Alright, so you want to be careful with the fence, and for some strange reason, this is like the one thing that doesn't like to stay put. Something else that I do find fascinating is I don't think fences snap. So that's also something that you have to consider. And again, you got to be very careful when you put them down because for some reason they're not frozen. You can easily get away with just making an entire fortress if that is what you want. So right here you can see we got some walls lined up. I could of course repeat this all the way throughout. Now I accidentally undid one of the plates for the roof and I forgot which plate I was using. Now that's really annoying, but don't worry, the creator did think of that. Simply hover over any plate that you want to duplicate, press the middle mouse button, and there you have it. That is the exact plate that you were aiming at, and you could do it to anything. The door, now we have the door, although it only shows up in doorways. We have the wall, you can see that's the wall I was aiming at, so you can go ahead and put some of these here, copy this, and then we can do that. Well, actually, that's not right, because now we can't get in. That's okay, undo. I want to have this doorway, copy it, boom. And just like that, you have that. I want the door, copy the door. As you guys can see, it is so damn intuitive. This mod is so cool. For people who like to build stuff, this is going to be your absolute dream, and I'm so happy that someone made a mod this great and intuitive to use. Now, there are some interesting quirks with this mod. For instance, as you can see, we have some walls built up to make a second floor. However, sometimes on occasion, it actually uses the wrong orientation. As you can see now, it thinks that that's what should be snapped on, and that's obviously not the case. I don't know if it's because we have to put plates down first. Definitely is kind of bizarre. Now again, I wanted to go to plates. I don't gotta hold the menu, go all the way down here and select one of these. Again, middle mouse button is going to be your friend. Just gotta line up the plate perfectly. Now if you get it wrong, again, you can simply reset. And when you reset, you should be in the right orientation. So you can just go in, line it up perfectly, and everything else is going to work just fine. Once again, going back to walls, copy, and let's see if it works good this time, or if it's, oh, well, what do you know? I think we got it working. So it does appear that you have to put the plates down for it to properly register what it's trying to do, but that also could just be something strange with my installation. And there you have it. You know, perfectly centered. Look at this. Look at how good this looks. If I were to build this by hand in Garry's mod, this would take me, without this mod, like an hour. I'm not even kidding, and I did this all within like less than a couple minutes. Now here's the exciting thing. Using this mod, you can make dupes. And using these dupes, you can, well, spawn in other people's creations. Like this. This is made using this exact same mod by another creator. And it looks awesome. It looks like a fully... Oh, wow, wait. Would you look at that? We even have a working door. So this person is a lot better at making stuff than I am. We got even more. Here's like a Ravenholm shop. Look at that. That is super cool. And of course, you know, you can use props. Although I would probably recommend putting this on a level surface so you don't have this happen. And last up, we have this one. An entire apartment complex. Wow. Did not think this was even possible, but here we are. Now, of course, with all these different materials on the map, it can cause some performance issues. I wouldn't recommend having all this spawned in at once. All right, I went ahead and cleaned up everything, and the performance is better, although this is also kind of pushing the limit of what you can do with the materials involved for the Source engine. You know, Source doesn't like a lot of physics props being present at once, and this is a lot of physics props being handled, and it looks great, don't get me wrong. Tons of different floors. We have an entire staircase area that can take you up all the different floors. A bunch of different rooms. It looks really awesome. And then we even, of course, have a roof with... Wait, is that... No way. There's an elevator. I'm probably missing the mod required to have the elevator work. But that is awesome. Tons of awesome things. All right, now that we can see what this mod can do, let's go ahead and blow some stuff up, is what I would say. The problem is that even though when you go into options, you can see it says destroyable. I have that clicked. You could do damage by only explosion. I'm going to turn that off. I'm even going to completely and entirely respawn this in. Now we're going to spawn in some explosives, or we can just use our own. Let's whip out the good old handy RPG. Oh wow, this thing has a lot of health. Well, it does, because it has an infinite amount of health. For some strange reason, I don't know if it's something I've installed, but I did recently reinstall just only the basic mods for this video. I don't know what it is, but the destruction simply just does not work for me. I inputted all the console commands. I even tried spawning in props, and these barrels are not even putting a dent in this thing. However, interestingly enough, props do impact it for some strange reason. So if you find a sufficiently massive prop, and you throw it hard enough, you can get some results. Oh my god. Oh, yep, there it is. That's what I wanted. Now the cool thing is, everything that is above that prop within a certain reason, like you can see, this is still here, but I assume it's because this is kind of welded to this plate. Everything above it will collapse. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or some kind of conflict with one of the few mods I do have installed, because again, physics props are damaging this just fine. It's just for some strange reason, explosives or damage, it's not working. I mean, look at that. It exploded into pieces. That's exactly what it's supposed to do when you hit it with something. But my weapons aren't doing that. So hopefully you guys know what's going on with that. If you do, please let me know down below. But there you guys have it. That is the simple build system. An insanely cool mod. I am a huge fan of this. My only gripe again is with that weird not being able to destroy things with my weapons. But what do you guys think down below? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to also know what you've built with this if you have used this mod before. All the links will be down in the description. Leave a like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. And until next time, thanks for watching and farewell.